Today, this is the Salvatore. I did a video about them about yesterday, 2 days ago, don't know when, but this is them. This is what they are. The Salvatore, the Insalvytors, I shall call them now, since I've changed their name. But yeah, today we're not going to be focusing on the Insalvytor. We will be focusing on their, whatchamacallit, they're sort of, and I lost my pencil. Great, this is just, here's a magnificent. I lost the pencil. Great. This one's okay. Now, today I'll be doing a little, and I lost it again. Okay, here we go. Dropping shit like I don't even know what I'm doing. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here talking. This shouldn't even be a thing, but still. Today I thought to do the armor. Now this armor isn't technically this isn't like technically like fully armored aliens, since I don't really worry about that. But fully armored Insalvytor is different compared to another Insalvytor that you like fight during a battle. I mean, these Insalvytors, they don't really use much of a tactics when it comes to. They don't really rely on heavy weapons and heavy armor and heavy artillery to fight their battles. They rely on fast-paced and numbers to take out their enemies. This is swift. Yes. So that's a skinny ass arm. Okay, hold up. So right now I'm worrying about the details because it is important when it comes to these things. Oh god, I'm already failing already. Today I'll make the armor of them. There you go. Today I'll make the armor of them, and today that'll be like their main source of why I'm making this. So there they are. Remember, leave out the head because the head is the most important part about an alien. And we'll do the same thing we have done in the next video. Erase them faintly so you can catch what sort of thing did going on. Today I'll just be making the armor, and I'll worry about weapons and other things later on in this making of the universe. But let's just do their thing now. Make sure you leave them a little S for them to kind of admire. Not technically, you know, they don't have anuses, but yeah, this is just for the. This is technically for who they are. Sorry for no commentary right there. I just kind of blanked out and tried to focus. Make sure you give them their little kind of fingers. Any kind of fingers you guys like or think will be good. Right now I'm just going to be dealing with their. Right now, since you guys are making your own unique alien, you shouldn't really start, you know, making other things. Stick with one alien at a time, since it can. I've been there. I've sat there and tried to make multiple at the same time, but it just never worked because I was always stressed and stuff, and it just kind of broke out upon me. You may have a little foot, but let's actually fix that. Let's actually fix that little foot. Let's give him a bigger foot. Now we focus on their head. Now the reason why they have a smiling like head to them is because then it's not really a smile, it's like a little tactic. Their teeth move too for like intimidation, which kind of is pretty cool. Their head like their teeth like kind of rattle like a rattlesnake, so they can show dominance over like other aliens to show that they're not afraid. Right there is the quick sketch of an alien. And now we start doing this. We start. Damn it. Damn it. We'll give them their little kind of neck thing. You may think, oh, what the hell is he doing? I am building their armor slots. Basically armor that keeps them safe from other things. They're not fully armored. They're just, since they're an expendable army, they don't need to worry about keeping our soldiers safe. Since one of these guys that die can reincarnate and have like 20 more beside him, because they reproduce differently than other beings in this universe. They reproduce somewhat of like a weird kind of way of reproducing, but there's a little plating for their stomach so they can twist without making the armor like, you know, flat looking, so it gives them like that weird walk that most things do. This will help them. And make sure, don't just like draw them to make them look cool, draw them to make them look realistic, something that they probably might exist in real life. Because if you start drawing them, you know, cartoonish, you're not really going to care about them. So draw them like economic and political wise, other than just giving them like that weird look to them, that weird whatchamacallit, that weird kind of way, like how most aliens in some universes kind of treat their aliens. I treat my aliens with passion, and and other things, such as this right here is their helmet. It kind of loops over their entire head to keep them safe, and for their eyes to, oh yeah, I forgot, they do have eyes, it's just that it's under the carcass of their head to keep their eyes safe. Like, they do have eyes, just that it's not very well seen. So that's basically the armor and the interior of this alien. Now let's actually draw them. So I'm gonna quickly like do a little bit of a weird draw around their armor plating by their stomach or their waist area, so you can keep them safe. They do wear a shirt. It's called a what do you call it? A nanobite fusing shirt, which has nanobites in it. So the armor that they're wearing right now isn't an armor that you just kind of like put on. It's an armor that actually like is nanotech. So right here is the armor that they. So all this right here is like little nanobots coming together to make armor. Shin pads, thigh pads, not knee pads, since, well, they don't really like have a knee. It's a different alien. They don't have the same biology as us. They have a really, really exotic biology than us. I will go further into that more, but right now, so the white is basically their kind of like their traditional bone that they used to use back then, before they started getting more and more advanced. The reason why I left their arms and hands and feet unarmored that well is because their hands and their feet are almost kind of their feet and their hands are almost they had, instead of nails, they gave them like sharp fingers to carve through rock and crystals. So you imagine this thing like slicing through someone, and yeah, it's not gonna look pretty. It's not gonna be a pretty sight to look at, someone getting sliced in half by a hand. So right there is their armor, and let's draw their weaponry that they use on the other side. There'll be different types of armor, but oh wait, actually I just kind of forgot about it. Armor and all that. I'll draw the So right now I'm gonna worry about the armor. Right now I'm gonna worry about the armor of each alien. But the armor is always the best part because it always shows what they are and how they look like. So right there is how they kind of look like, you know, differently. You may not be able to see here. Let me outline it a little. Well, you guys, it's already outlined. You just gotta look very, very closely into what they are. So that's how they look like. Let me cover this part real quick. So yeah, that's how they kind of look like. And with the armor, their weapons will come sooner. Just right now, it's kind of different. So that's them with their armor and their armor and their weapons. I forgot, I have a whole like 500 sheets of paper to do, so I kind of like do things differently other than just like draw them all on one, because if I draw them all on one it's gonna look weird. By the way, I do a little project of how they looked before I draw them so I can be more perfect than just random. So let's draw their weapons. So you may ask, where is their stuff? Where do they bring their where do you put them? Where do you put their little stuff at? Do you just like throw them on the ground or anything? No, I put it in a folder so I can show it to my teachers to show them I'm not a failure. Let's draw this a little bit more bulkier than it already is. I can show them that I'm better than all the other kids. I can show them that them kids ain't got nothing on me. Them kids, they ain't like me. I'm more different and unique. Oh, fine, give them that. So there's their crystal, I guess, with their armor and stuff. We'll give them a little bit of a port over here. So that's their main rifles that they use for battle. Let's draw their infiltrator over here, I guess. Let's draw their little infiltrator to show they have different variations. So each weapon has their own unique style of what they're used in battle for. They're not just like different types of weapons that they use. Like this weapon over here that I'm drawing right now is used for boarding ships, for infiltrating camps. You know, it's kind of like secret missions and boarding and invasions. Since a bulkier weapon won't really work, they'll use these weapons over here for like boarding spaceships. They'll be used for like taking on planets and stuff. Let's go into the other side where I draw the much bulkier weapon. The weapon that deals damage to bigger opponents, such as, you know, ships, stuff like that. Stuff that kind of gives them a bit of a... These ones will be given to another part of what the Insalvytor nurtures is one. There's multiple, and they all look differently. So this will be given to a much bigger alien, to a much bigger Insalvytor, because there's different types of Insalvytors. I just gotta get into what kind of part that they are to the Insalvytors. So right now I'm just kind of like quick drawing them because I don't think I have that much time to bring you guys within. There you go. That's how they kind of look within their reaches. Why I forgot their little handle over here. This will be given to a much bigger alien. I mean, a much bigger Insalvytor. I keep on saying aliens. Right now, this is like the weapon sheet, so they'll be given. So I'll advance more on this when I'm through it, stuff like that. Just right now, I'm worrying about the weapon and armor, the weaponry and the armor, kind of style to them. I could focus more on like I could focus more on this, but it's just right now is not the time. The detail of this is a little more of the details is oh, I forgot about another one. Forgot about their bombs, their little drones that kind of like drop off a little surprise gift for their opponents. It might not be the best drawings, but there's something else. They're giving character. They're giving other things. So each one's like different compared to the other one. So each one isn't just me drawing like, you know, this one deals with vehicles. This one's just the primary weapons for the front line and the ground soldiers. This one's used for like the smaller Insalvytors and the infiltrating weapons. And here's the other weapon over here that is used for melee. So that's like given for infantries and the frontline army, since they could be a charge that comes in and kind of almost gives them the nasty, I guess I should say, or the bloody battle. So I'm gonna draw their crystals. Now you might ask why the crystals are outside instead of within. Well, putting it outside is much easier than putting in, because it helps them. So they have a different sort of like look to them. Their sword may not be nanotech, but it's a traditional sword, so they just use it because it's much better. Now let's give them their rock structures of their ships. This is the rock structure, basically the structure that gives the nanotech a way of like surrounding the gun and the bombs, and it pretty much like gives out a little bit of a. It just helps the nanotech, guide where they need to go. So now, since I am done with both things, the armor and then the weapons, I shall say fairly quickly that I am done. Oh, let me stop kneeling real quick. Oh, my legs. Okay, I'm gonna stop kneeling real quick. Oh. Alright. So right now this is the weapons that they have, and this is the armor. Now, I will focus on ships and cities and all that next time, because that'll be the structural part. Right now, I'm just focusing on the armor and weaponry, and I'll probably detail more of that later. But right now, I have no time. Right now, I got barely a little time to do a video because I'm trying to make these as short as possible, but they never come out short unless I gotta cut them, and I don't like cutting them because it distorts the video. But I'll worry about that later on. Just right now, I'm dealing with the short video thing. So the armor is done with. The weapons are done with. I can call it a day and prepare for the next day for other things. Because right now I only worked on the armor and the weapon. I'll probably work on the armor a little more, but right now is not the time. Right now I'm probably just gonna give them this for now. Alright, so I guess, come by more to come by and see more of this interesting things about the Insalvytors, and I'll see you guys very, very soon, I guess. Later.